So if you're wondering why I look a little bit sweaty and I'm slightly out of breath, that's because I've just finished a 40-minute easy run. And on that run, I've gone through 26 marathon tips that I wish I knew before I started my first marathon. So if you're thinking about doing a marathon, you're in the middle of training for a marathon, or you're just about to start your marathon, you may find this video useful. So when you register for your marathon, when you sign up, make sure you have a why. Why are you running this marathon? What for? Is it a personal reason or a personal goal or for health reasons? Make sure you tap into that why, because you'll probably need it during your marathon training and during the marathon itself. And also when you sign up and during your training, visualize the race. What's it going to feel like at the start line, in the middle of the marathon, at the finishing line? Visualization is a really good motivating factor. It can really help you overcome those difficult runs or those times where you don't want to go out and do your training run. So visualize what's going to feel like to finish that marathon. Respect the marathon distance. 26.2 miles is a long way to run. Even if you've ran a marathon before, respect the distance. Each marathon is different. Each marathon has its own surprises. So treat it with respect. Train properly. Get to that marathon start line confident, but aware that the marathon takes no prisoners. And don't forget, when you sign up for the marathon, tell people. Accountability really helps. And you never know, you might actually inspire somebody else to sign up for one. There will be tough days. It's inevitable in marathon training. There will be days where you think your run hasn't gone as well as you'd like. Don't worry about it. Move on to the next run. Think about your next run. It's all part of the process. Trust your training. Trust the process. When you start marathon training, you can look at the number of weeks and feel quite daunted by it all. The number of weeks, the number of runs, the length of that long run, but trust the process. As the weeks tick by, you'll get stronger, fitter. And don't forget, you don't have to crush every run. Just be consistent. Long runs are non-negotiable. They are a staple of marathon training, and they're there for a reason. They're getting time on your feet. And not only that, it's getting you mentally strong to tackle the distance. So if you've got a long run, try your best to do it, because in the long run, it will benefit you. Most runs should feel easy. It's all about building endurance and not ego. So leave your speed work to the days when that's in your plan. Most of your runs should be done at a really conversational pace. But do add in some speed work. It builds confidence. It gets you ready for maybe the marathon pace. So when your training plan says do some speed work, do it, and do it as fast as you can. Do it as hard as you can, and you'll get better and better as the weeks progress. So those first few speed workouts will feel tough, almost impossible. But if you stick at it, in a month, you'll be a lot stronger. Most good marathon runners listen to their body, not just during the marathon itself, but in training. So if you feel tired, exhausted and fatigued, change your plan, change your run. And if you're injured, stop. It's better to lose a couple of weeks of training while you recover than miss many more weeks if you keep on staying injured. Oh, the infamous taper. The 2 to 3 weeks out from a marathon where you're meant to reduce your running volume and distance, but maybe keep the intensity. Stick to the taper. You want to arrive at that marathon start line with a fresh pair of legs and a fresh, focused mind. Ignore the taper crazes, the phantom injuries. That's all just your body's way of getting you ready for the marathon. In some of your runs, it's a good idea to run to feel rather than pace. So maybe ignore your watch or ditch your watch completely. Get to know what running comfortably feels like. Get to know what running hard feels like. Because on marathon day, during the marathon, sometimes pace goes out the window. So you're going to have to learn to run by feel. Train in your race day kit a few times. So your shoes, your shorts, your shirt, even your hat. Make sure you practice in it. And don't be tempted in wearing that brand new shiny running t-shirt you bought at the expo. You don't want any surprises on marathon day. You don't want any blisters at the halfway point because you've not worn your running shoes in. So make sure you practice a few times in the full race gear that you plan to run a marathon in. Practice, practice, practice. Fueling. So on your long runs, make sure you start to practice with the fuel that you plan to take on marathon day. So whether that's energy gels, carb drinks, chews, or other types of fuel, make sure you practice with these on your long runs. That's what they're there for. They're not only teaching your legs to run far, it's teaching your body to use the fuel you're putting in it. So make sure you practice. I've done a whole video on this recently, but you don't want to hit the wall at mile 20. So make sure you dial in on your nutrition before and during the marathon. So do your carb loading 2 or 3 days before. Make sure you get the right amount of carbs in your body. Make sure the days leading up to the marathon, you hydrate well. So drink lots of water. Sometimes I can drink up to 2, maybe 3 litres of water before marathon day. So make sure you're well hydrated before you arrive at that start line. And during the marathon, at every aid station, make sure you take a couple of sips of the water that's on offer. And also drink electrolytes. Even if where you're training, or even if on marathon day it's not particularly hot, you want to replace the sweat, the sodium. So electrolytes are really, really good. They can help with cramp. Get to the start line early, well in advance. You don't want to get there with minutes to spare before the marathon starts, like I've done in a couple of races. Give yourself plenty of time, plan out your route. How are you going to get there? How difficult is it going to be to get there? Is there going to be any traffic that you're going to encounter? It's better to arrive there early, nice and relaxed. Don't also forget your safety pins to attach your bib number to your shirt. There's nothing worse than scrambling around in the morning trying to look for safety pins. Make sure you check both the weather and the course route. The weather can have a massive impact on your marathon. It may be too hot, it may be too cold, too windy or rainy. So make sure you're prepared. Check the weather and take a good look at that course route as well. Is there any elevation? Are there any tight corners? Are there any hills? Prepare yourself, both physically and mentally, for what's to come. And this one's so important. Do not start too fast. No matter how excited you are, pace yourself correctly. Go slower than you should, slower than your watch says. You'll see people run right past you. Don't worry, you'll probably pass them later. Conserve your energy, pace yourself correctly, and you'll be stronger at the end of the marathon. This one helps so much. Break the marathon down into smaller distances, whether it's 4 times 10k, 8 times 5k, 10 mile, 6 mile, or maybe the first half easy, the second half tough. Breaking it down into smaller chunks just makes it more manageable, so you don't overthink of the distance. So when I start my marathons at the start line, all I'm thinking about is that first 10k. Use mantras. Say that phrase, say that word repeatedly. You'll be surprised how repeating a phrase or word that you practice with can distract you from maybe the tough moments in a marathon. So before the marathon, give yourself a mantra. Make up a few words that you'll repeat again and again. Make it personal. And when those moments of toughness come, repeat that mantra. Smile when it hurts. Smiling is known to reduce pain, discomfort, toughness in a marathon when you hit wind like this. So smile and you'll be surprised what a difference it makes. Eliud Kipchoge is known to smile when he's hitting the tough moments. So if it works for him, it'll probably work for you. So smile. Running a marathon is an incredible achievement. Only 1% of the world's population have ever done one. So what you're doing is absolutely amazing. So always remember that. Always remember your friends, family who are cheering you on. You've encouraged them, you've motivated them, and you may have made them want to sign up for their own marathon. And just remember, you've trained for this. You've trained for this marathon. All those weeks and months of hard work, sacrifices, early mornings, early evenings. You can do this. This is what you've trained for. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. But this is what you prepared yourself for. Those hard moments. When you get to those hard moments, remind yourself of where you were maybe 3, 4 or more months ago. Remind yourself that's what all of those long runs were for, to get you to that marathon finishing line. Crossing that marathon finishing line will change you. You will always remember, especially your first marathon, but crossing that marathon finishing line is such a special achievement. So wait for it, wait for that finishing line. And when you cross it, make sure you celebrate. Make sure you celebrate your achievement, your accomplishment. And remember, when you cross that finishing line of the marathon, remember, that's just the start. What else are you capable of? And as I finish my easy run, I think I've covered 26 tips there. I'm not too sure, I was doing that from memory. Doing that while you're running is quite difficult, but just one more tip. If you like this video, if you found any value in it at all, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like, and make sure you share it with other runners who maybe are thinking about running a marathon, training for a marathon, or just about to do their marathon. I'm just about to start training for my 11th marathon, a marathon in central Thailand in August. So over the next few weeks, I'll be charting my running journey as I head towards Thailand. So hopefully you'll subscribe and you'll follow the channel along as I head to Thailand. So I'll see you in the next one.